Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one is you scratch your head at this because you go, I see the virtue signal. I also see. Let's read it. I'll comment later.
Okay. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to feature disclaimer clarifying that the developer decision to use a name
the German National Socialist Party.
Yeah, the German National Socialist Party from a certain era that our country went to war with.
Yes,
that we weren't friends with. That many American
the guys that were the baddies
fighting
during World War II, right?
Yes. Anyway, for most people, it's understood that when a creator chooses to pick something evil in a piece of fiction, especially when that something is also portrayed in universe as explicitly bad, said creator is not endorsing a given behavior or ideology, but rather using it for narrative purposes, often to contrast the moral differences between a protagonist and their opposition. However, the same apparently does not ring true for the video game industry's modern audience like so many games before it. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will feature a very performative disclaimer assuring players that despite developer Machine Games' decision to pit the iconic archaeologist against the historical enemies he fought in his movies, the studio themselves does not endorse it in any way, shape, or form. You know what, Machine Games? I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I think you're secretly trying to turn the kids into
no, that it really is bizarre. I mean, I'll tell you what I thought of when I saw this, and it's an unfair comparison. I'm saying that up front. I remember when I first saw the video for Michael Jackson's Thriller, and it starts out with a little disclaimer where Michael Jackson says, well, it's you got to read the screen. He doesn't say it verbally. I just want it to be known that, my participation in this video involving occult practices do not, in any way show an endorsement of my, whatever. I don't endorse the occult and so on and so forth, basically because of his religious convictions.
Fine.
And it's like, okay, you shouldn't have to say that, but if you felt a conviction to do that, I understand it. Come to find out later, when I do find out about his religious convictions, I'm like, oh, he kind of did have to say that because he could have ended up getting excommunicated from his church if he hadn't, Oh,
I see.
But,
okay.
But anybody, that thought about it rationally, anybody that knows him would know, okay, yeah, no, that's obviously not what you're getting at. You're just having some fun. This is even just the opposite. It's not like you're portraying these guys, these bad guys, as the good guys. They're not the heroes of this story.
Okay, Jesse Guajardo, this is what's claiming. You've seen the Indiana Jones movies, the original trilogy. 2 of them featured a historic nationalist party from Germany as the villains, and they're going to be featured again in this game as some of the enemies you fight. And the company making the game says, we don't endorse that ideology. Well, we didn't think you did because you have them as the villains in this game. This is ridiculous, man.
This does seem to be less, and maybe I'm being a little too, giving too much benefit of the doubt, but it kind of reads to me like they're saying, you know and we know, but there's too many people that get all bent out of shape, so we got to address their concerns before they start making those concerns.
If it's going to be this much trouble, don't include them. Have them fight some other enemy, okay? Just do that. Remember there were the Chinese gangsters in the beginning of Temple of Doom? It could have been
no, because then they'll come out and say, no, because then that's racial profiling.
And have it be American gangsters, or I don't know, just have it be something else.
Some sort of appropriation or something. They will always find something to be offended about. So maybe this is the way to go about it. You put the disclaimer, look, we're not glorifying this. They're the enemies. Basically,
I know
you could read it a different way.
Spielberg wasn't glorifying them in his movies.
Right?
Though you did make them nuance, especially in Raiders. There was a little bit of nuance there, where you were at least they're still the villains, but you see things from their point of view. See, that's what adults do.
What they're another way of looking at this, though, is they're basically saying, look, we're being true to the Indiana Jones stories, and we're using the bad guys as the bad guys. And if you don't like it, well, just understand you're mistaken in your reasoning for not liking it. Yeah. But another way of saying that is, if you don't like it, too bad. We're still doing it.
Yeah. No one endures villain of the past unless they're weird people. I guess. I don't know. It's just, what are they going to... What about the Thuggy cult? Are they going to have them in the game later on? And they're going to say, we don't support the human sacrificing? I mean,
yeah, I know, right? Exactly. You know?
This is just... The problem is these idiots run a mile with every concession you make. They do. They're never satisfied. That's why I made the joke at the beginning. I don't believe you, because that's what the leftists should say. We don't believe you. We don't think you're in earnest. And now you're giving the other side ammo to look for stuff where you could be glorifying them in the game. Then they'll have to censor the game later on because maybe a uniform looked too cool on one of the enemy officers. Because a certain group did have snazzy looking uniforms. I'm not going to deny that. What was it in World War II? The Germans had the best looking uniforms. The British had crap uniforms, and the Americans had all the high tech stuff. We had like the more high-tech type uniforms, we True. Were like
and the hardest mainland to get to by the people that were involved in that war.
Yeah, I mean, USA all the way. And like I said, I don't know why we're having these conversations in the year 2020.
Because unfortunately, so much of our population has become infantilized. We have to treat them like children.
The men that took down the Nazis are the same types of men you'd be calling toxic today.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Exactly.
Did I say the N-word? I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, you can always bleep it out later.
I can bleep it out.
The other N-word. Okay. Anyway.
The other N-word. Yeah. Don't use any N-words of any kind. There you go. Never use an N-word.
Or netter.
Or netter. Yeah, good point.
There you go. Okay. The most common villains in Indiana Jones are the Germans, but I'm supposed to we never see Indiana Jones fighting against. I often thought that might have been interesting if they had done, Pacific Theater villains in one of the Jones movies. That might have been interesting because the Japanese were mentioned at the beginning of Temple of Doom. How that's how he rescued Short Round after the Japanese had bombed, I guess, some city in China. Was it Shanghai? And that's where he found Short Round. So it would have been interesting if they had been an adversary in one of the movies too. That would have been interesting, but oh well. I remember when Whoopi Goldberg made that statement, Darth Plato. I swear, things that would get other people canceled, and she survives it. I don't get it.
That's the other thing. There's this double standard. You can't do it, but we can do it. Yeah. We can say stupid things and be okay, but you need to be canceled. That actually, again, falls under the whole socialist thing.
Welcome, Disney Sheepherder.
Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, my friend.
We're just talking about apology things for having anything in your game, anything that might offend someone. I heard fedoras were worn by people that were not nice to other people. Are you endorsing those not nice people that wore fedoras by having your lead character wear a fedora as well?
I don't know. I wear a fedora in every stream, so what can I say?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure at some point someone did an istophobish thing wearing a fedora, so that means fedoras are now evil. I mean, this is